Guys, I think I know what 2022's most anticipated sneaker is going to be, and I'll show you some pictures of it in a minute. But of course, if you're new here, welcome, because this is our weekly episode of upcoming sneakers, where we talk about, I said it, upcoming sneakers, leaks, rumors, just everything to keep you in the loop, make sure you're not missing any sneaker drop. We also do a little release recap, so let's jump into that. So we had quite a few releases over the week, some pretty crazy ones and some pretty underwhelming ones. Let's start with one of the crazier ones. This one right here. This is the Tom Sachs general purpose shoe, the one that they call boring, the one that they call just an average sneaker for everybody. These released, I believe, on Tom Sachs's website, and it was only US shipping, so I couldn't even try to get this pair of shoes. I don't understand how this shoe is reselling for so much money. It actually blows my mind that they're going for like £600 on the aftermarket. Also, I guess the good thing is that apparently these things are going to be restocking in August. This is really not like the most exciting pair of sneakers to me, yet they are one of the most expensive. See if you can figure that one out down in the comments. Either way, did you manage to get a pair or not? Also, we had Yeezy foam runners. The Onyx colorway, what date was that? Was that the Wednesday? Either way, did you manage to get a pair of the Onyx colorway? And then also the Desert Sand colorway. This was a US exclusive, so only dropping out in the US. We also had some Jordan brand releases, the Jordan 1 Vault or the Visionaire. This is an interesting sneaker. I did manage to get a pair on a raffle, and I am interested to take a look at the materials, but people just seem to be really just like passing these. I mean, these are still available on the Nike sneakers app. Let me just fact check that real quick. Okay, a couple sizes are available on the Nike sneakers app. An EU exclusive, this is the Jordan 4 Zen Master. Again, just kind of like one that I think a lot of people passed up on. I think it's pretty solid. I actually got a pair in hand, and I like the look of them. I know, I guess it's not traditional materials, it's definitely not traditional color blocking, but at the same time, I don't think it's too bad. Either way, that is pretty much it for the release recap. Let me know what you managed to get, what you passed up on, what you took L's on. Right, I'm gonna keep you on your toes, and we're gonna kick it off with some kind of sample that's been floating around the internet, and that is this pair right here. Now, I believe this is a sample that we saw a while ago, and I think everybody just kind of assumed it was the Yeezy Foam Runner Part 2 or version 2, but this is just a Adidas foam shoe that I guess Adidas is sampling. I don't think the laces really are a good look on a pair of foam shoes, but it has an inner sock piece. It just overall looks super interesting. I reckon they'd be super comfortable. Obviously, heavy foam runner vibe. Right now, this is a sample, and we don't know if we'll ever see the release of these things, but I, for one, am crossing my fingers because I would love to see a retail release. While we're on the topic of, I guess, Adidas, maybe Yeezy, let's talk about tomorrow's release, and that is this right here, the Yeezy 700 MNVN Phosphor Laceless. This shoe really confuses me because what I'm seeing is a lot of people actually saying that they're hyped for these. Now, look, I know that pretty much every other MNVN colorway people have just been like, nah, but it seems like this is enough of a change for people to get somewhat excited about it. I mean, I even find myself kind of interested and kind of excited, like how is this gonna feel on foot? Is it gonna be better? Is it gonna be worse? Are they gonna change the midsole, or is it literally just a color change? They are up on the confirmed app now, so they are dropping. There's plenty of other raffles. Again, these release tomorrow on the 13th. Right, so this sneaker has been floating around on the internet for a while now. I've seen like people wearing it like on foot and stuff like that, and it is one of the craziest shoes I have ever seen. Honestly, take a look at this. This is the Balmain Unicorn, and it looks absurd. Now, for the longest time, I thought that this was just a sample. It's just one of those crazy sneakers from some random brand. And then we learned that this was made by Balmain, and then we learned that there's actually a retail release, which is upcoming. In fact, I believe out in the US, you can buy these things on Kith. I've tried to look around because I do want to get my hands on these. There's no retailers here in the EU. Yeah, just wanted to show you guys this. Just wanted to talk about it because it's such an interesting shoe that I'd love to check out, really. Let's get into something a little bit more extreme, okay? There's a couple different stories today that we're going to talk about where people are just throwing lawsuits at each other, and Nike and Adidas this time. It's not Nike and StockX, it's Nike and Adidas. This time, oddly enough, it's not Nike doing the suing, Adidas is coming after Nike. Adidas sues Nike over sneakers and adapt technology, so sneakers as in the sneakers app. According to the lawsuit filed on Friday, Adidas claims that Nike is infringing on 9 of its patents, including those related to the self-lacing Adidas One sneaker, which I have never heard of. Adidas, have you made a self-lacing sneaker? And then also the reservation app, the Confirmed app. Now, I do know that the Confirmed app was kind of like the first one back in the day, and then they kind of like re-released it, all updated and everything to be a little bit more close to the Nike sneakers app. So I guess if the sneakers app was kind of infringing on Adidas's patent for the original Confirmed app, that would make sense. Adidas is targeting Nike's adapt technology because the company wants to dive into smart footwear. So apparently this picture here is of the Adidas self-lacing shoe, and I guess like look at the plus and the minus buttons like on the bottom. I have never seen this sneaker in my life, so I don't know, when did this release? Must have been ages ago. I had no idea that Adidas was working on self-lacing technology. I always thought Nike was at the forefront of that. Everybody's suing everybody right now. Let's just get out of our head the whole winning and losing thing. Just in terms of your experience on the app, I do think that the Nike sneakers app is much more refined than the Adidas Confirmed app. We'll definitely hear a lot more about this topic, I believe, once things start to develop. Here's another one. New Balance is also suing. They are actually suing Steve Madden over the 327 design infringement. Now, I've actually seen this Steve Madden shoe, and I always thought to myself, like, bruh, that looks exactly like the New Balance 327. Here's a look at it. So this is the Steve Madden. I don't even know what the model is, but I mean, even look at the colorway. The colorway is identical. So yeah, I mean, I would be pretty pissed off if I was New Balance, but yeah, let's keep it moving. All right, moving away from all these freaking lawsuits, let's take a look at an interesting pair of dunks. This is the grayscale Nike Dunk Low, premium features and top shelf leather and suede. That's what I like to hear. This also happens to be quite a good looking pair of shoes. I'm not entirely sold on the laces, you know, this kind of rope style lacing. I would kind of just prefer the regular flat style, but I am a fan of the materials and I am a fan of this colorway. It looks like these are official images, which is pretty cool. I mean, you can see even like, look at some of these details on this pair of shoes. It does look very high quality. Like even, I believe the insole bit is made of leather. Now, as far as the release date, it just says 2022. We don't exactly know when, but these being official images, I would expect sometime right around the corner. MSCHF is still keeping their foot in the door of the sneaker game. They're still dropping sneakers, and this is their next one. I mean, it seems like MSCHF usually just does like super controversial shoes, but this one doesn't really seem to be very controversial at all. It is releasing on June the 23rd. Maybe that's the controversy, that this looks like a dunk and it's just distorted. Maybe it's an Air Force One. I mean, maybe this one isn't as crazy for me. I feel like they've done a lot more crazy stuff, but yeah, just wanted to let you know in case you are a huge MSCHF fan, June the 23rd. Let's take a closer look at the upcoming pair of Yeezys. This is the Yeezy 350 Granite, not to be confused with the plethora of other very similar colorways that we've seen with this black stripe. I think there's going to be 3 different colorways in total. This one, it might be my favorite. It might be my favorite. I am seriously liking this pair quite a bit. We've got a lot of 350s upcoming this year and a lot to kind of pick and choose from, but I think this one would be on my cop list, my hit list, whatever you would call that. The speculated, or I guess rumored release date is September, but again, we don't have anything that's really confirmed that. It just says 2022. So at some point this year, we're going to be getting this Granite colorway. I'm gonna go for it. This next one is a sneaker that I didn't really think about much. I was just like, meh, okay, yeah, whatever. But now I'm seeing it on foot. I'm like, you know what? They kind of look sick. This is the Ambush Nike Air Adjust Force on foot, guys. On foot, is it just me, or do these kind of look good? I don't think this is gonna be an incredibly hyped pair of shoes. I just saw these on foot and I really liked the way that they look. So I don't know. You can just even tell, like in hand, they don't look as good as they do on foot. Like, look at this all over black one. It just looks meh. It looks very average. But on foot, there's something about it, man. I don't know. It could just be me, honestly. But yeah, if you are interested in these, apparently they are dropping sometime here in 2022. Right, we spoke about this pair of Yeezys last week, but we got a lot more detailed pictures, so I did want to briefly show you this. This is the Yeezy 500 High, and it's just called brown or gray or something like that. I don't think there's an exact name for it. Again, we spoke about this a lot last week, so we're not going to get too in detail, but these images are much much better. It gives you a much better idea on how these things are going to look in hand. See if you're interested or not. Either way, at some point here in 2022, I would expect closer towards fall season. Got a release date for one of Nike's craziest sneakers that they're going to drop this year. Take a look at this. This is the ISPA Link Desert Moss colorway. I think there's two colorways that are going to be dropping on June the 22nd. Now, they don't have any images of this thing, I guess, disassembled, but this is a shoe that you can literally take apart completely. Like, this whole upper is like a sock type of piece that you can just take off. This is not a good looking shoe at all, in my opinion. But I do think it's very interesting. I would like to check it out. I think the ISPA line in general, the ISPA line from Nike, is very, very creative, very, very innovative in terms of the technology. Kobe's are coming back, not just the Nike Kobe's, but apparently Adidas's Kobe's are going to be returning. This is the Kobe Bryant OG Adidas Crazy 1. Now, this is the metallic silver colorway, which apparently is going to be dropping this year at some point. We have seen this rumored for a while now. We have seen, like, you know, a bunch of different leaks and everything for this pair of shoes, and it's just another colorway to add to the list. Either way, yeah, if you're a huge fan of the older, you know, the Crazy 1 silhouette from Adidas and the Kobe Bryant line, 2022 at some point this year. This is one which I really didn't have my eyes set on at all, but there was a decent amount of you that actually messaged me and was like, yo, have you seen these? I don't think there's anything crazy about this, but here they are. This is the Stussy and Converse collaboration. These are dropping right around the corner on June the 16th. So, I mean, to me, it literally just looks like a regular Converse. Obviously, this upper looks to be like hemp material, something that they use on the Air Forces. But, I mean, hey, the exact same color blocking as any other, I guess, Converse All-Star. We got our very first look at the Air Jordan 37. It almost looks like promo material that Jordan Brand would use to market this pair of shoes. It's kind of, you know, little diagrams of every piece of material, like the lino weave upper, lightweight, strong, exoskeleton, carbon fiber shank on the midfoot. So this is a very, very performance-driven model from Jordan Brand, obviously, the 37. And here's the first look of it in hand. This one right here. So, I mean, to me, it's just very, very meh. I don't know. If you're a basketball player, though, this would be very interesting because I think this is going to be like the latest and greatest in terms of footwear technology for basketball players. These are going to be dropping next month, July 2022. So we'll probably start getting like official images and stuff in the next couple weeks, maybe early July. So just keep an eye out if you're interested in this sneaker. One of the most anticipated sneakers this year, which nobody was really sure whether it was going to be the most anticipated, but now that we have pictures, I feel like it's going to be. That is the Jordan 1 Chicago Reimagined. I feel like they freaking knocked this one out of the park. Everybody was holding their breath. When we heard the rumors that Jordan Brand was going to do the Jordan 1 Chicago again, we're like, what are they going to do? Are they going to do some weird flip on the colorway? Are they going to make it patent leather or something like that? I think these are going to be pretty big. They are sticking with the October 29th release date, and here it is on foot, looking crispy. I think we took a look at pictures last week, but these are the first kind of like on foot images. They're looking clean, man. It's got the whole, I guess, retro vibe about it in terms of reimagined. I don't think this is exactly the 1985 cut that we saw on like the Georgetowns and stuff like that. Correct me if I'm wrong, but at least on foot it doesn't particularly look like that. You've got cracked leather on the sock liner piece, and then also on the white part, but the white leather cracking is really hard to see. You can't really see it on foot unless you have like a really up close detailed image. This looks pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie, I'm hyped for this. Here's the outsole. So this is the really interesting part. It's got like this oxidization, just kind of, I guess the story behind this is just it being in the box for like 30 years or something like that. So yeah, there's a lot of like interesting elements to this. I think they've done this very tastefully. I like it. A lot of other people do as well. October 29th is gonna be chaos. Let me know what you think of this sneaker. Do you think that Jordan Brand did the right thing? Like, are the details good enough for you? Is it true enough to the OG Chicago's for you? Let me know your opinion down in the comment section. That is the final story. That's all I got for you today. Thank you guys so much for coming through, hanging out for yet again another video. Thank you for liking, commenting, and of course subscribing. I'll catch you guys in the next one. But until then,